Good morning, people. Back on the syndicate. Don't think there's anyone fishing. Both car parks are empty. Just having a wander around now. That's the point over there, so I'm in the woods, the opposite side to where I've usually been fishing from. I spent some good time this morning trying to find some fish. So there's no one on. So if I find them, I'll be able to get to them. And the sun's out. I've just heard a car door, so I think either Dave's there or someone else will be joining me. Not quite sure what that bucket's doing hanging from the tree. Heron. Finally got the rods out. I'm right at the top end in a swim called the Neck. A few fish cruising in the surface. We've had a bit of a... Well, Dave closed the lake last week. With this cold weather, all the algae's dropped to the bottom, drawing out all the oxygen of the water. He's had the environmental agency had pumps running for over a week. I think he said 600 quid's worth of petrol to re-oxygenate the water. So he's just been round now with this meter, and the levels are back up now. So I think the fish are certainly pushed the fish up in the layers of the water. I think at one point they were just gasping about. So I've got one on a zig just under the surface. I've already seen a couple of fish go past it, so that looks good. That's my middle rod. I've got my left hand rod on a clouded up spot where they've obviously been feeding on the bottom from someone else, and my right hand rod just tucked under the tree. So there's fish up here. I'm feeling quite confident, so let's see what happens. Yeah, there's plenty of fish down here. Another one's just boshed over on the far bank. Say far bank, it's about 20 yards, so an underarm flick. Yeah, I've just mentioned Boston, the Castaway Carp Cup. It's a complete success. 23 anglers in the end. I think we raised just over £4 for the Stacey Moles appeal. So hats off to Rich, who primarily organised it and done most of the running round. Yeah, take a bow, mate. That was really good turnout. Everyone had fish. Everyone had a good time, so hopefully the money helps. Feels like I've not been here for about 5 weeks. Well, I've not. Just been working again. I was going to come down yesterday, but I come from Wednesday was a late shift. I didn't get out of bed till about 10 o'clock yesterday, so I just did nothing all day. So yeah, squeeze a day in today. It looks good. There's fish up here, so fingers crossed. I've just got short combi links on my left and right hand rod. Scaling down. These are 14 millers, so I've doubled up on them. Just like that. On either side. And then in the middle I've got a bright pink bright pink. I think these are 10 millers on an adjustable zig right at the surface. So I've probably seen about 4 fish cruising now, so I reckon that's the one that's going to go first. Well, this is turning out to be quite frustrating fishing. I can see the fish. I think I've got about 4 foot of water pretty much. There's a few little humps and bumps, but it's quite uniform around here. And there's certainly a pack leader in the shoal of fish, big common. Wherever he goes, there's about 10 fish following him. They've been hovering over the bait quite a few times now. I've seen them brush past the zig. I've changed from the pink pop-up to a little zig light. I've watched them go past that. So I've now got a piece of orangey brown foam on. There we are, just drifting past. I think I've been here 4 hours now, probably fishing about 3. I've had 5 phone calls, about 10 text messages. Luckily my phone's on silent, but as soon as you get your odds out, everyone wants your sister asking for a lift. Don't think so. Not today, girl. There's 2 just coming up to the zig now. Dropped it right in their patrol route, so they're going past it. Been letting them come out and push back in again. There's a bit of a wind blowing into this corner, and it's where the fence is that joins to the other lake, so it tends to hold a few fish when there's a breeze pushing in here, because there's no undertow. Yeah, so there's about a dozen fish. There's a big scaly mirror. Come right into the margin earlier. Real wide fish. And so there's a big common leading a pack of about a dozen fish. I only want one here. Two fish right on the zig. Come on. Come on. Can't watch. There's the beggars. Just to the left of that patch of bubbles. There's literally a dozen fish a foot away from the zig. Come on, one of you. Oh, there's one just under it. Okay, I'm just in the process of moving the zig. I'll just quickly show you what I'm doing. So that's the hook and the hook bait there. Just a bit of orangey brown foam, and I've got 2-foot hook link. I'll have to get this in quick. The swivel, the buffer bead. An inline float. Another buffer bead. And then a lead. So all the zigs that I tie at 2 foot. And then I either fish them at 2 foot or put them on an adjustable like this. I'm going to have to get this in. I'm on a white foam zig now. Nothing's catching the eye. I've tried every colour. Just not interested. I've actually put the zig onto the right hand rod now, and I've moved the middle rod to the far bank after seeing the fish going in there. Got another couple of hours, so I think I need to just sit on my hands now. Fish definitely no harm here. It's hard though when you can see them. You're like almost trying to drop a bait in front of the nose, but you never know. Putting no pressure on myself to catch. I've got 4 days next week with the rest of the team, so looking forward to that, lads. Hopefully we'll get amongst a few. By the looks of it, they're all jet black, so some good fishing. I'm at that stage now, especially when it's visual angling. I've seen them pass by milk baits. Obviously with the zig I've been changing that quite regular. It's, I've got it in my head now, do I change the up baits? Change them for stiff hinge rigs or something. One that's back out of the water. We're just in no urgency to feed at all. Around the up baits I've got literally a handful of boiler, 14 millers contrast. Which I think if I'd put any more out I'd have ruined any chance that I've got. They've been on the areas, I don't think they've been feeding on them. So at least with there being only a few baits down there, if one does decide to pick some up, there's more of a chance of it being mine. The 2 rods on the bottom, one's on a little snowman with pink topper and a white bottom, and the other one's on a double 14mm bottom bait. I don't know whether to just put something obvious in front of them, like a bright 15mm pop-up on a stiff hinge. I've got some tied, so I think I'll tie a couple of baits onto a couple and make a decision about that. I'm just waiting on an order from Ultima for some new hook link materials to have a play around with. So I was off yesterday, I was going to come down here but I didn't. So obviously down the settee, out comes the rig box, and I bumped into Palatrax Steam Link. I've had it, I don't even know when I bought it. yeah, I've always used it for combi links, just a typical combi link. I was having to play around with it yesterday. There's this steam link, it's stiff, but it's got memory. I tied this up, very, very subtle stiff hinge rig. So I'm going to put it in. Get a bait on the end of that and don't know what colour to go for. The problem is I've got a bag with about 20 different colour and flavour pop-ups. But if I rule out the colours that I've used on the Zig and the colour that I've used on the Snowman, yeah, let's get one of these tied up. Okay, so I'm opting for orange. So I've not balanced this yet, I'll probably end up adding some putty to that shot. I'm going to wind a rod in and stick this out. Okay, so I've just swapped that left rod over to the bright orange stiff hinge rig. Give that a go, this is what's come out. Just a standard combi link Snowman. Running out of ideas and time.